Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on WAMUQ, Washington Mutual Incorporated. Got quite a few messages for this one today, mainly just because of this. A lot of people are wondering now what, and so with that, I'll get things updated from a charting perspective, the do's and kind of don'ts of what you want to see. But one thing to keep in mind, and keep in mind this is for the people that are playing this longer term, is the chart is still in an uptrend. It's still bullish. I mean, all that stuff. Sure, one day definitely bearish today. So if you're a day trader or you're a very short-term swing trader, yeah, today was definitely bearish. But for long-term swing traders, people that are in this for the long term, this chart, the chart is still fine. Just to point out a few days, here you can see that there's a nice big move up, and then there's a big nasty red candle, and then the stock looked like it was gonna fall off a cliff. But the key was we had a low there, and then this low was higher. So sure, that looked terrible, but it put in a higher low, and then it made another high up. It pulled back. Look where that low was, higher than both of these. So day traders, short-term swing traders, they were bailing, they were complaining, and then boom, got another move, and then it kind of went quiet again. But yet, once again, the key is, where are these lows at? You can see they're always higher than the previous ones. And then we had, this big move up here. And actually, let me shrink this up because this will be. But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people remember this day. Had two great days, and then boom, had this nasty red day. But from an overall chart perspective, the higher lows were still intact, and then that is what happened. So will the trend continue like that? I hope so for the people that are playing it long term, but I did want to get that out of the way for the people that are longer term players in this. Is we've had days like this before. As long as these higher lows stay in, then things are fine. But one note that should be made is volume was pretty darn high today. Usually on those other days, volume was less. Today looked like equal or maybe a little bit more. So that is one thing that you should take heed of and acknowledge, was there was a lot of profit taking, a lot of selling today. So does that translate into continued pullback? We'll see, but we'll be able to judge that pretty well based on some of these support levels. So just to tackle this from the daily chart level first, you can see that we have these two support levels that I drew yesterday actually on the daily. The one being, or I should say, derived from simply the previous high, which was a support at 25. The other being, actually, it's not quite accurate, down here at the high of this. So right now, the key thing that you're going to want to watch, and remember this from a daily chart perspective, is how does the price react around these levels. Today, the price dropped down and bounced off 25, so that was a good sign. But for the rest of this week and next week, is the price going to come down and crash through 25 and then crash through this one and then just keep heading down on high volume? If that's the case, something's not right, and that's where you should be looking to try to find an exit. But if it comes down here and you look at volume and it really starts to shrink and it's going down a little bit but not too much, and it's kind of going sideways, basically just like it has in all these past areas, then it's history repeating itself. So right now, that's the question. What's it going to do compared to previous history points? Previous history has been, after these days, it comes down a little bit more and then just goes sideways, gets real boring, volume plummets off, and then it just goes sideways for a month, 2 months, and then all of a sudden it'll wake back up. And that's what the chart's been doing, as you can see, for quite a while. Big move, boring, move, boring, big move, boring. And then this was actually a huge boring one, but this big boring area led to this thing. Here was another move, got boring, but this one was only for a few weeks before taking off again. But the key point with all these were, volume dropped off during all these periods, and that's what you want to see here if the price keeps pulling back. Now, if the price all of a sudden takes off again, then, higher volume, that'd be a good thing. But when the price is going down, you want to see the volume dry up, which is why today you do need to make a note, because the price did drop, but volume didn't drop off at all. It was the exact same as that huge volume yesterday. But from a daily chart perspective, for the time being, watch these two support levels, watch the amount of volume and how the price reacts when they get down towards them. Resistance wise, just simply up here at 40, and the high of that one, which was at 44. but we're not really going to worry about resistance right now. For the time being, it's more a question of how is the price going to react around these support levels. Now, hopping down for the shorter term time players, I know I spent time on the 15-minute chart, and as you can see, I pointed out these two support levels, both here and here yesterday. And like I said, if this one fell, then unfortunately, because of that big candle formed yesterday, the next support level wasn't down here until 25. And once again, the power of charting, you can see that the price, when it fell through this support, dropped all the way down and bounced right off that 25. So it's one of those things where if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the video I did yesterday. And just another classic example of how charts can do a good job of forecasting where there's going to be pockets of buying. And for the time being, that is right down here at 25 cents. So on the 15-minute, in a downtrend short term, just because of these two moving averages. But once again, if you're a long-term player, these time periods really don't matter. But if you're a swing trade, short-term swing trader, day trader, then hopefully you're paying attention to these levels. And right now, the trend has gone against you in terms of being down. The one benefit on the 15-minute is you still are above the 200 period, which is good, and you bounced off 25, which is that key support level from the daily chart. Coming up to the 60, same things are holding true. You still are above your 50 and 200. Ideally, on the 60-minute, I don't really want to see it fall below the 60-minute, but if it does, you still do, as mentioned, have the 200 period below you. So that's a good thing to see. But definitely on the 60-minute, chart's cooling off, and people are getting out, taking those profits. So congratulations to them. Hopefully they made some money. And as long as these support levels hold up, the chart will remain okay from an overall chart perspective. So hopefully I kind of addressed your strategy, whatever you are. If you're a short-term player, like I said, you're in some rocky territory. But if you're a longer-term player, the chart has seen these periods before, so it's one of those kind of wait-and-see situations. Shoot me a message if you have any other questions on the chart. On another note, if you have not already, I'd encourage you to check out bullmarketnewsletter.net. If you sign up for the emailer there, you'll be sent a free ebook, which has been getting really good reviews, and then you'll also be subscribed to the newsletter, which sends out trade ideas, chart setups, all sorts of things from big boards all the way down to small caps, and it's got a good variety for everyone. So it appeals, and we'll give everybody a choice to kind of take a look at different things. So it's all free, no strings attached, so it's worth checking out. You really don't have anything to lose. Once again, this was Washington Mutual. Please send me a message if you have any questions. Thanks for listening.